Hey guys, I wanted to break down a conversation that I had with somebody last night. I felt like it was so good. And she's probably going to watch this, so that's going to be a little weird, but that is okay. You know what? I really wanted to share it with everybody because I genuinely felt like it was just a lot of truth. I wanted to kind of talk about what we talked about was really kind of knowing yourself. I think that, a lot of us might be money motivated, or we might be motivated to come through for our family, or whatever our goals are for doing what we do. I would really argue that a lot of times we're more like recognition and almost what you would say like fame motivated than you might really be admitting to yourself. We came back from a great conference over the course of the weekend, and, I was talking to an individual, and I just kind of felt like, one of the reasons why coming off of this conference where there's so much momentum and so much good energy and so much good information and just kind of like feeling a little bit down maybe at that moment is because, there's other people highlighted at the conference and you want to be one of those people, right? So if you're not one of those people, I'm sure you're a good person. You're motivated about the people who are getting recognition and you're happy for them, right? In that sense. But at the end of the day, you wish it was you. You want it to be you, And I think that we're more motivated than we maybe really realize about our mentors and people that we admire and respect really telling us what an unbelievable job that we're doing, telling others what an unbelievable job that we're doing, right? Picture somebody that you really respect like crazy, just saying to you, wow, I am so impressed with what you've accomplished, and saying to everybody else that they know, wow, I am so impressed with what this person has accomplished. That would feel so good. So you might be more motivated by this than you really realize. So first off, you got to be honest with yourself that that's something that you're motivated by. So second off, the other thing is that if that's really the case, which I think for 98% of the people that are watching this video, that's the case, then you should cater to that a little bit. You should know that about yourself so that you can channel that, so that you can utilize that, right? So for example, if I am really motivated about receiving recognition from a mentor that I really look up to and respect, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to seek that out from my mentor, and not in this not in a way where I'm not being honest with them, or I'm just running around seeking this out, right? The way would be that I want them to know what I'm doing. I want them to know that there's certain habits that are worth the praise in the first place. What I mean by that is that a lot of times when I was newer in my career, what I would do is I wouldn't necessarily communicate or promote myself with my mentors as much, because I just wanted to be able to do it almost quietly, I'll show them that I can do it by getting the results down the road. Then everyone will know. Can you relate to that at all? I bet you probably can't. Well, in the meantime, if you're related to this, if you related to the motivation that we're talking about at all, as you're silently accomplishing your goals, as you silently have the right habits every single day, you're not allowing yourself to get the very motivation that you crave, which is the respect and admiration and praise and recognition for what you're doing on a regular basis, because you're trying to do it so quietly. So I think that this is really, really important. So what I would be doing, if I felt like I'm relating to this at all, is I would be promoting some of my habits to my mentors. I would be obviously talking to them about what's going wrong in my business, of course, obviously talking to them about what's negative and what my questions are and all of those different things. But I would be talking to them about, what I just did on Saturday and Sunday while everybody else was sleeping or not doing these things, and how much, I'm putting in order to get to where I want to go in the first place. And I would be, talking about my goals, and I would be talking about how I'm still confident that I know that I'm getting to where I need to go. And I would be doing all these things where I'm getting this praise from my mentors, so I'm getting the motivation that I need, so I feel motivated to continue to move forward. And then what happens is like it becomes a snowball effect. Now, here's the other thing is that if you resonate with any of this stuff, then you're saying to yourself, like, I'm going to prove them in the future that I am clearly doing everything. I have the right habits. I'm getting to where I need to go. Right? Well, the reason why some of these things are probably the case is because you have really high standards in the first place. That's great. Don't change that. That's awesome, right? But through some of those high standards, we're never satisfied. We're never satisfied. So like there are so many benchmarks that I've hit in my career where I remember times where I'm like, if I could only just hit that benchmark, if I could only have X amount in the bank, if I could only have X amount of sales per year in my business, if I could only have X amount of gross or net profit, right? And so then I hit these benchmarks, and of course, I'm excited for 2 seconds max, maybe not even, depending on how long it took me to hit that in the first place, and I'm on to the next target because I'm just, you have high standards like that. That's what an entrepreneur does. That's kind of the way their mind works. That's why you're doing this in the first place, is because this is the way your mind works. Okay, so guess what? Your premise of, well, I'll show them, I'll hit the mark, then I'll really be, I'll be the one that's receiving all of this recognition. Based on the way that your standards constantly continue to escalate and fluctuate, you'll never really get there because you'll never feel like you deserve it, or you'll never feel like you've earned it, because think about where you are right now, right? Where you are right now, there's a lot of things in your life that you once felt, if I could just have XYZ, then I'll be happy, or so-and-so will be excited for me or about me or whatever it is. And now you have those things and all you're focused on is the next thing. So even more of a reason why you can't wait for this time to happen so that then everyone will notice. But in the meantime, promote yourself a little bit. Talk to the people that you respect and admire and let them know like how much you're really doing on a regular basis regarding your habits of like, in order to reach your goals. I hope that makes sense. I hope that resonates a little bit. I've been through all of that 1,000 times over for sure. And so, I just felt like the other day when I was communicating with this person that it ended up being a really honest conversation and I really wanted to share. So everybody have an awesome night. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.